Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So, a lot of you have been asking about my background, how I grew up, and what my life was like before all of this. Before YouTube, before the business, before moving to this smaller town. And honestly, I've been a little hesitant to talk about it. Not because I'm ashamed, but because it feels like a different lifetime, you know? But today, I'm pulling back the curtain. Yes, the rumors are true. I am, or I guess I was, what you'd call a rich city girl. I grew up in the heart of the city, in a world that felt like it was constantly moving at 100 miles an hour. My childhood was different. It was a world of private schools with uniforms that had to be perfectly pressed, drivers who knew the city's backstreets better than anyone, and a social calendar that was booked months in advance. Summers weren't about running through sprinklers. They were about jetting off to Europe or attending some exclusive summer camp that promised to teach you a new skill, like Mandarin or horseback riding. It sounds glamorous, I know. And in many ways, it was. I had access to things most people only dream of. If I wanted the latest designer bag, it was just a matter of asking. If I wanted to see a sold-out show, my dad could usually pull some strings. My world was curated, polished, and protected. I was living inside a beautiful, gilded cage, and for the longest time I didn't even realize there were bars. The thing is, when you grow up like that, you develop a very specific kind of blindness. You don't understand the value of a dollar because you've never had to earn one. You do not know the satisfaction of cooking a meal from scratch because there's always been a chef or a five-star restaurant a phone call away. I remember being a teenager and a friend's car broke down. She was panicking about the cost of the repair, and I just couldn't understand it. I genuinely, innocently suggested, "Why don't you just get a new one?" The look she gave me, that was one of the first cracks in my bubble. I was taught that success was about who you knew, what you owned, and which galas you were seen at. It was about maintaining an image. My entire life was a performance. I learned to smile on cue, to make small talk about art and politics, and to never, ever show weakness. Emotion was messy, and my world was all about being neat and tidy. The turning point for me came in college. For the first time, I wasn't just surrounded by people exactly like me. I met people who were working 2 jobs to pay their tuition, people who were the first in their families to get a degree, people who had passions and dreams that had nothing to do with stock portfolios or social status. They were driven by something real, something from within. And I was empty. I had everything, but I had nothing that was truly mine. My accomplishments felt like they belonged to my family name. My interests were just hobbies picked to look good on an application. I was living a life that had been designed for me, not one I had chosen. That realization was terrifying. It felt like I was standing at the edge of a cliff. I could either continue on this safe, predictable, and soul-crushingly boring path, or I could jump and hope I learned to fly on the way down. So, I jumped. After graduation, I did the most scandalous thing imaginable in my family's circle. I said no. I said no to the corporate job my father had lined up. I said no to the trust fund that came with 100 strings attached. I packed one suitcase, took the savings I had, and I left. I moved to a city where no one knew my last name. Let me tell you, that first year was brutal. I got a job as a waitress, and I was terrible at it. I burned myself. I spilled drinks on customers. I cried in the walk-in freezer more times than I can count. I lived in a tiny apartment with 3 roommates and a cockroach problem. I learned how to budget, how to cook things other than instant noodles, and how to fix a running toilet by watching YouTube tutorials. It was the hardest and most humiliating year of my life, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. For the first time, I was failing, and the world didn't end. I was succeeding at small things, and it felt more rewarding than any A+ I ever got on a paper written by a tutor. I was making real friends, people who liked me for my bad jokes and not for my dad's connections. I was building a life, my life, from the ground up. It was messy and it was difficult, but it was mine. This journey from that rich city girl to who I am today taught me that wealth isn't about money in the bank. True wealth is resilience. It's the freedom to choose your own path, even if it's the harder one. It's the richness of genuine human connection. It's the satisfaction of knowing that you built something with your own 2 hands. I'm not here to say that my upbringing was a curse. It gave me an incredible education and exposed me to the world in a unique way. I'm grateful for it. But I'm more grateful for the courage it took to walk away from it to find myself. I had to lose everything I thought I wanted to discover what I truly needed. So when people look at my life now and say, "Wow, you're so lucky," I just smile, because I know it's not luck. It's the result of a choice I made a long time ago. A choice to trade a gilded cage for an open sky full of uncertainty and endless possibility. It was the best trade I ever made. Thank you so much for listening to my story. It feels really good to finally share it with all of you. If you can relate in any way, or if you're on your own journey of self-discovery, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. It means the world to me. See you in the next one.